doing? How could you?
The humid night air carried the distant hum of Victoria Island's traffic. Adaobi's world crumbled in an instant. She had returned home earlier than expected from her lavish spa day, her manicured nails still glistening with fresh polish, her designer handbag slung carelessly over her shoulder. The mansion was eerily quiet, save for the soft murmur of voices drifting from the master bedroom, the very room she shared with her billionaire husband, Cheek. Her heart pounded as she crept closer, curiosity gnawing at her like a relentless itch. What was he doing home at this hour? Cheek was supposed to be at a board meeting for his tech empire, the one that spanned across Africa and beyond, making him one of the richest men in Nigeria. Ada's mind raced with innocent explanations, but as she pushed the door ajar, the scene before her froze her blood. There, tangled in the silk sheets she had personally selected from Milan, was Chike, her Chike, with Nkechi the housemaid. Nkechi's uniform was discarded on the floor like a forgotten rag, her laughter turning to a gasp as their eyes met Ada's. Chike's face drained of color, his strong arms that once held Ada now wrapped around another woman. Ada, it's not what, he stammered, but the words hung useless in the air. Tears blurred Ada's vision as rage and betrayal surged through her, like a storm on the Lagos lagoon. How could this happen? She, who had given up everything for this life of luxury, now stood betrayed in her own palace. The emotion choked her, love twisted into hatred, security shattered into despair. Who was this maid who dared to steal her husband? And how had Ada become so blind, so lazy in her paradise that she hadn't seen the signs? The questions burned, pulling you deeper into the tale of love, loss, and revenge. If this hook has you on the edge of your seat, craving to know how it all began and how it ends, hit that subscribe button right now for more gripping stories like this one. Your subscription keeps the drama flowing. Flashback to 3 years earlier, in the bustling streets of Ikeja, Lagos, where Adobe worked as a modest marketing executive at a small firm. Life was a grind, endless traffic on the third mainland bridge, cramped downfall buses, and dreams that seemed as distant as the stars above the polluted city sky. Ada was beautiful, ambitious, with ebony skin that glowed under the African sun and eyes that sparkled with determination. She hailed from a middle class family in Surulere, where her parents screamed to send her to the University of Lagos. One fateful evening, at a high profile networking event in Lekki, sponsored by Chiki's company, their paths crossed. Chik Okonkwo was the epitome of success, tall, charismatic, with a smile that could close billion-naira deals. His tech firm, Apex Innovations, had revolutionized mobile banking in West Africa, turning him into a Forbes-listed billionaire at just 35. He spotted Ada across the room, her laughter cutting through the corporate chatter like a melody. "Excuse me," he said, approaching with a glass of champagne. "You look like someone who knows how to make a room light up." Ada blushed, her heart fluttering. Their conversation flowed effortlessly about Lagos traffic woes, Nigerian jollof rice supremacy, and dreams of building empires. By the end of the night, Chike had her number, and what started as flirty texts blossomed into whirlwind dates, helicopter rides over the city, private dinners at rooftop restaurants in Victoria Island, and weekends in his yacht on the Atlantic. Ada fell hard. Cheek was everything she dreamed of, kind, generous, and utterly devoted. He proposed 6 months later on a private beach in Banana Island with a diamond ring that could fund a small nation. "Marry me, Ada," he whispered, "and let's build a life together." She said yes, tears of joy streaming down her face. Little did she know, this fairy tale would twist into a nightmare of laziness and betrayal. But as the wedding bells rang in a grand ceremony at the Echo Hotel, attended by Nigeria's elite, politicians, celebrities, and business moguls, Ada felt on top of the world. The tension simmered beneath. Would this opulence change her? The curiosity builds. What happens when paradise breeds complacency? The honeymoon was a dream. 2 weeks in the Maldives, where turquoise waters lapped at their private villa. Chike spared no expense, champagne breakfast, spa treatments, and nights under the stars. Ada reveled in it, her days filled with lounging by the infinity pool, sipping cocktails, and letting the world fade away. This is our life now, Chike said, pulling her close. No more struggles. Back in Lagos, they moved into Chike's sprawling mansion in Ikoyi, an architectural marvel with marble floors, a home theater, and a staff of 10. Ada quit her job at Chike's insistence. Why work when I can provide everything? He argued. At first, it was liberating. She spent days shopping at the Palms Mall, getting facials at high-end salons in VI, and hosting brunches with her new socialite friends. The house ran like clockwork thanks to the efficient staff, but subtle cracks appeared. Ada, once so independent, began skipping her yoga classes, preferring to binge watch Nollywood series on the massive TV. Darling, can you help with planning the dinner party? Cheek asked one evening. Ada waved him off from the couch. The staff can handle it. I'm exhausted from my nail appointment. Cheek laughed it off, but his eyes held a flicker of disappointment. Emotional undercurrents built. Ada's growing laziness stemmed from insecurity. Deep down, she feared she didn't deserve this life, so she hid behind indulgence. Tension rose as Chike worked longer hours, leaving her alone in the vast house. Curiosity lingers. How long until this idleness invites disaster? Months turned into a year, and Ada's laziness deepened. The mansion, once a symbol of their love, became her gilded cage. She rarely left her bed before noon, ordering meals via intercom, her once toned figure softening from inactivity. Chike, buried in board meetings and international trips, suggested hiring more help. We need someone reliable for the household chores, he said. Ada shrugged. Fine, as long as I don't have to lift a finger. Enter Nkechi, a young woman from Enugu, recommended by a family friend. She arrived at the mansion gates with a small suitcase, her eyes wide at the grandeur. Nkechi was striking, petite, with smooth caramel skin, a warm smile, and an efficiency that bordered on artistry. Hired as the head housemaid, she quickly transformed the home. Spotless kitchens, freshly pressed linens, and meals that rivaled five-star restaurants. At first, Ada barely noticed her. Just do your job and stay out of my way, she snapped one morning, lounging in her robe while Nkechi polished the silverware. But Chike was impressed. Nkechi, this egusi soup is divine, he complimented during dinner. Nkechi blushed. Thank you, sir. I learned from my mother. As Ada withdrew further into her world of social media scrolling and online shopping sprees, Chike and Nkechi's interactions grew. Late nights when Ada was asleep, Chike would find Nkechi in the kitchen, sharing stories of her humble beginnings. Life in the village was hard, Nkechi confided, but it taught me resilience. Chike, feeling the void in his marriage, opened up about his stresses. Emotional drama intensified. Ada's jealousy simmered when she overheard their laughter. Why is he talking to the help? She muttered. Tension built as stolen glances turned into something more. Curiosity peaks. What secret moments are brewing behind closed doors? Hey, reader, if this emotional roller coaster has you hooked and wanting more twists, drop a like and share this story with a friend. Your engagement fuels the fire. Tell me in the comments. Do you think Ada deserves what's coming? Let's discuss. Subscribe now to unlock exclusive bonus chapters and behind the scenes insights into these dramatic tales. Nkechi's presence became a fixture in the mansion, her efficiency masking a growing undercurrent of attraction. Chike found himself lingering in the common areas, drawn to her quiet strength, a stark contrast to Ada's increasing apathy. One afternoon, as rain pounded the Lagos streets, Chike returned home soaked from a meeting. Nkechi was there with a towel and hot tea. Sir, you shouldn't catch cold, she said softly, her hands brushing his as she handed him the cup. Ada, from her perch in the living room, watched with narrowed eyes. Cheek, why are you always chatting with her? She demanded later. He sighed. She's just doing her job, Ada. Unlike some people. The words stung, igniting a fight that echoed through the halls. Tears flowed as Ada accused him of neglect, but deep down, her laziness had created a distance. Nkechi, overhearing, felt a pang of guilt mixed with forbidden excitement. Her life had been one of hardship, orphaned young, working odd jobs to survive. Cheek's kindness awakened dreams she never dared to have. Emotional layers peeled back. Was this love or opportunism? Tension escalated with late night texts from Chike to Nkechi disguised as work instructions. Curiosity draws you in. How far will this go before Ada notices? To expand this part, let's delve into Nkechi's backstory. Born in a modest home in Enugu, she lost her parents in a tragic road accident on the Enugu-Onitsha Expressway. Raised by an aunt, she dropped out of school at 16 to support the family, working as a cleaner in local hotels. Her move to Lagos was a leap of faith, answering an ad for domestic help. The city overwhelmed her at first, the chaotic markets of Balogun, the endless honking on Apapa Road, but she adapted, her resilience shining. Chike, meanwhile, confided in her about his own struggles. Building Apex wasn't easy. He shared one evening in the study while Ada was out with friends. I started with nothing, coding in a tiny room in Yaba. Nkechi listened, her admiration growing. Their conversations turned personal. Dreams, fears, laughter. Ada's absence fueled it. Her days filled with spa visits and gossip sessions, leaving the house to Nkechi's care. One night, as Ada slept off a hangover, Chike and Nkechi shared a bottle of wine in the kitchen. You're more than just a maid, he whispered. Her heart raced. The emotional pull was palpable, a mix of longing and betrayal. But Ada, in her laziness, remained oblivious, scrolling through Instagram influencers' lives instead of living her own. The line crossed on a stormy Lagos evening. Chick had a fight with Ada over her latest extravagant purchase, a luxury car she barely drove. You're spending like there's no tomorrow, he yelled. Ada retorted, It's your money. Why do you care? She stormed off to her room, popping sleeping pills to escape. Chike, frustrated, wandered to the servant quarters. Nkechi was ironing, her movements graceful. So, is everything okay? She asked. He poured out his heart, and in a moment of weakness, their lips met. The kiss was electric, forbidden passion igniting, like fireworks over the marina skyline. Guilt consumed them both the next day. Nkechi vowed it was a mistake, but Chike's text begged for more. Ada sensed something off. Chike's distant gaze, Nkechi's averted eyes, but her laziness kept her from investigating. Instead, she ordered more online deliveries, burying her unease in material goods. Drama heightened with close calls. Ada almost catching them in the pantry, Nkechi's whispered, I love you, in the hallway. Ada's growing isolation, Cheek's torn loyalty, and Kechi's ambitious heart. Tension built as their affair deepened, curiosity urging, when will the house of cards fall? Expanding on the emotional turmoil, Ada's laziness wasn't just physical, it was emotional avoidance. She avoided therapy sessions Chick suggested, preferring to numb with wine and reality TV. Her friends noticed. Ada, you're changing, one said during a lunch at RSVP restaurant, but she brushed it off. I'm living the dream. Chike's empire demanded travel to Abuja for government contracts, Dubai for investor meetings, leaving opportunities for secret rendezvous. Nkechi, empowered by the affair, began dressing more elegantly, using Ada's discarded makeup. The curiosity of their stolen moments, picnics in the garden when Ada napped, passionate nights in guest rooms added layers of suspense. Ada's suspicions grew like weeds in the mansion's manicured lawn. Small things, a misplaced earring in Chike's car, Nkechi's new phone, a gift from him, lingering sense of perfume. What's going on? She confronted Chike one night. He denied it. You're paranoid from too much idle time. Hurt. Ada tried to change, attempting to cook dinner, but burning the rice and giving up. See, I'm useless, she cried. Chike comforted her, but his mind was with Nkechi. The maid now bold slip notes under his pillow. Meet me tonight. Emotional peaks. Ada's self doubt turned to anger, leading to explosive arguments, tension in every glance, curiosity in unspoken words. The story thickens. What if Ada hires a private investigator? To flesh this out, let's explore Ada's internal monologue. Lying in bed, she recalled their wedding vows at the Grand Hall in Echo Atlantic, surrounded by 500 guests. How did we get here? She whispered to the empty room. Her laziness had roots in postpartum like depression after a miscarriage early in marriage, which she never addressed, opting for shopping therapy instead. Nkechi's ambition fueled the fire. She dreamed of escaping poverty, seeing Chike as her ticket. Their affair evolved. Weekend getaways disguised as errands to Ibadan, gifts of jewelry hidden in her room. Chike justified it. Ada doesn't appreciate me, but guilt gnawed at him during family gatherings, like his mother's birthday in Asokoro, Abuja, where Ada played the perfect wife. The affair hit a boiling point when Ada found a love letter in Chike's jacket. My dearest, your touch sets me free, it read. Heartbroken, she confided in her best friend, Ezine, over coffee at Cafe Neo in Ikoyi. I think he's cheating with the maid. Ezine gasped. Confront them. But Ada's laziness delayed action. She spied instead, hiding behind curtains, listening to whispers. One night, she followed Chike to the pool house, hearing moans. Peeking in, she saw them, but fled in tears, too emotional. Drama soared with Nkechi's pregnancy scare, false, but it forced Chike to promise more. Tension, secret meetings in Lagos traffic, close escapes. Curiosity, will Ada snap? Expanding, Ada's family intervened. Her mother visited from Surulere, noticing the mess. Ada, you're letting yourself go. Help around the house. But Ada snapped, I don't need to. We have staff. The irony stung as Nkechi served tea with a smug smile. Chike's business suffered. Distracted, he lost a major deal to a rival in Port Harcourt. Blaming stress, he leaned on Nkechi more, their bond deepening with shared secrets about his childhood in Onitsha. Ada's breakdown came during a gala at the Civic Center. Dressed in a stunning gown, she overheard guests whispering about Chike's new interest. Humiliated, she confronted him in the limo home. Is it Nkechi? Tears streamed. Chike admitted partial truth. She's a friend. At home, Ada fired Nkechi on the spot. Get out! But Chike intervened. She's valuable. The fight escalated, Ada slapping him, Chick storming out. Nkechi stayed, the power shift evident. Emotion overwhelmed. Ada's regret for her laziness, Chick's confusion, Nkechi's triumph. Tension in the air, thick silence, curiosity about revenge. Her breakdown included flashbacks to their first date at Terra Culture, contrasting with now. In Nkechi's perspective, she loved Chike genuinely, but saw opportunity. Planning to reveal all, she saved money from gifts, dreaming of a new life in Abuja. In a dramatic turn, Ada discovered emails proving the affair's depth, plans for a secret apartment in Maitama, Abuja. Enraged, she plotted revenge, hiring a lawyer for divorce, but emotion held her back. I still love him, she confessed to her diary. Chike, torn, proposed to Nkechi in a moment of passion. Leave with me. But Nkechi hesitated, fearing scandal. Tension peaked with a car accident. Chike rushing to Nkechi after a fake emergency, crashing on the Lekki Ikoyi link bridge. Hospitalized, he called Ada first, sparking hope. Curiosity, will this reunite them or seal the theft? Ada rushing to Luth Hospital. There, she saw Nkechi waiting, their eyes locking in hatred. Chike's recovery involved therapy, where he reflected on Ada's change from vibrant woman to recluse. From his hospital bed, Chike confessed everything to Ada. It started because you drifted away. Sobbing, Ada admitted her faults. I became lazy, lost myself in luxury. They vowed to try again, firing Nkechi. But Nkechi didn't go quietly, revealing she was pregnant for real. It's yours, Chike. Shockwaves hit. Emotional chaos. Ada's devastation. Chick's dilemma. Nkechi's demand for support. Tension in paternity tests. Curiosity about the child's future. To expand, the revelation at a lawyer's office in Marina with DNA results pending. Ada's friends rallied, organizing interventions. Nkechi moved to a flat in Bagada, plotting her next move. Paternity confirmed. The child was Chike's. He chose Nkechi, divorcing Ada. You've changed too much, he said. Ada, heartbroken, fought for assets in court, exposing the affair to tabloids like Bella Niger. Drama in headlines. Billionaire's Maid steals heart. Ada moved to a smaller apartment in Yaba, rebuilding. Tension in custody battles, though no child yet. Emotional farewells. Ada's transformation, joining a gym, starting a business in fashion, inspired by her pre-marriage self. Nkechi's victory was bittersweet, marrying Chike in a quiet ceremony, but facing societal scorn. Years later, Ada thrived as a successful entrepreneur in Lagos, her brand empowering women. Chick's marriage to Nkechi soured. Her own laziness emerged, repeating history. He regretted, but Ada moved on, finding love with a kind architect. The story ends with Ada overlooking the city, stronger. Laziness cost me everything, but it taught me to rise.